So, fun fact, I actually unlocked Horsey on my very first playthrough, and I believe you need to talk to him in every single chapter, and then you encounter him in chapter 5 where he is transformed into a fire cat. It is a very sad Elden Ring-ish type of storyline. Every single time you encounter him, he seems pretty confident even if he finds himself usually in a bad predicament. You know, he tends to find a way to get out of said predicament until finally, well, his luck ran out and he got captured. I believe his soul got pushed into those fire cats thingy, and then he dies. It's very sad story, but I would like to know more about it. Like, what actually happens to him? I know he's dead because, well, he's not moving. So yeah, there is that. Anyway, I never actually gave this guy a try until New Game Plus 4 because I was getting my ass kicked by pretty much everything. I was looking for something to give me an edge, anything honestly. This game has very bad scaling the more you play it. I feel like it's not meant to be played more than, you know, 2 cycles, because then you start getting weaker and everything else becomes stronger. So I feel like, well, that's not great. There are ways to counter this, but you'll be sacrificing almost everything to become stronger. Anyway, for the longest time, I've been using the monkey. The monkey had my back since my first cycle all the way to my 5th cycle. This is where I decided to do something different and actually use Halsey or even use any other transformation, because truly, I would say I only use 4 transformations. I think most of them are trash. Most of them are just bad or not good enough, you know, to be used, especially not in New Game Plus 4 or 5. It's just not possible. And I would say even on your first playthrough, you're going to realize that, well, Wolfie, you know, the wolf, the fire wolf, is trash, but Wolfie was the best trash we had at the time, and he got the job done. Whatever job had to be done, it was there for us. So actually, 1 minute of silence for Wolfie, because even though he was bad, he tried his best. So the moment I acquired the monkey is the moment I realized, well, this is the best transformation in the game. That guy is fast and he can actually freeze people, and I feel like that's great because almost every single enemy is weak to chill damage, which means that Monkey can shine. The only problem I have with Monkey, even though he has good movement and great damage, is the fact that his might tends to deplete very fast. It's like the moment you activate his ability, boom, your might is gone and you have to transform. I understand he is very strong, which is why they did that. You know, they tried to nerf him just a little bit, but I feel like it's not great because it takes a while for him to actually activate his abilities, and then you do it and then it's over. I lean toward trying every other transformation to find a new best one. And oh, fun fact, by the way, the rock transformation is great against Arlang, the sacred divinity, because whenever you do that, whenever you transform into a rock, he doesn't attack you. He just tries to talk you out of coming out so that he can bully you. Do not come out. don't do that. You could actually stay and try to use the rock form as much as possible to deplete his shield. I think this is a strategy, and yeah, capitalize on that. The only thing I don't like about the rock transformation, even though I believe it's great against enemies which can afflict you with some type of bane, you know, fire, poison, or anything else, even though at some point you become immune to all those banes, so it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, the rock is kind of slow, and I don't like playing too slow. You know, I'm willing to make some sacrifices, but I don't think the damage is there for the rock. I don't think the speed is there, so I feel like it's a big no-no unless you want to fight specifically those bosses which are weak against some type of also transformation spirits or vessels, you know. And this is where I started using Halsey, aka the Dark Thunder. And good lord, had I known how good he was, I would have used him a while ago because he's really good. The only thing I could hold against Halsey is that he's quite slow. You know, he's very slow. It's very easy to interrupt your attacks in general, but with Halsey it happens even more. So you need to make sure that you do those things before you even transform, otherwise you may not actually get the most out of the transformation. So step one is to actually build up the focus before you even transform. I think 2.5 focus points are going to be enough for you to trigger his ability, his massive, more damaging ability. And you do want to do that. You don't want to use it heavy. You want to transform into Halsey the moment you have saved enough focus. Step two is to maybe boost the damage of his ability by using the Auspicious Lantern. It is a quite easy curio to miss, mostly because, well, it requires you to defeat those Winter Lanterns. I think there are 9 of them in chapter 3, and if you beat the boss, I mean the first boss of that, in the prison, they are gone, and you can't get it until the next cycle, until your next playthrough. So the Auspicious Lantern is great because not only does it increase your damage whenever you activate it, by using Cloud Step and then transform, your transformation is also going to benefit from that damage increase, which is great. I also think it's going to reduce their health, which is fine because you're not going to use Halsey because you want to remain in that transformation. No, you build up the focus, you use Cloud Step to actually increase your damage, and then you transform into Halsey. And this is where the fun begins, because the moment you have a window, you need to activate his ability. I would suggest immobilizing the enemy or using the fan to make sure you don't get bothered, because again, he is slow and can be easily interrupted, which is going to run the build-up and waste transformation. Assuming everything goes right, what you want to do upon activating your ability is to use the heavy attack, which is going to summon those rings of, I guess, lightning, and they are really good because as long as the enemy is standing within the range of those rings, they're going to receive shock damage. Not be afflicted by shock, but receive shock damage, and I'll say most of the time they will not be able to move, continuously receiving damage. And you can actually summon up to 2 of those rings if you play your cards right, and then it's up to you if you want to remain in the transformation, because, well, the ability is going to run out. So I would suggest turning back into Wukong and then capitalizing on the enemy being stunned and not being able to move due to lightning striking them. It reminds me of, I'll say, Yellow Brow in chapter 3, the boss in chapter 3. He used to be the one using lightning that way, but yeah, Halsey goes crazy. Believe me, if you play your cards right and everything goes exactly according to plan, there is potential for you to deal massive damage. And I said before that I was on New Game Plus 5 or 6 or 7. Personally, I lost track. I just keep playing the game. I don't know from which cycle I am right now, but I do know that whenever all those I'll say requirements are met and you're actually able to summon Halsey and summon his rings of lightning, you could potentially open up the enemy for some massive damage. I'm talking ridiculous damage, and this is again in New Game Plus 5, where enemies have so much more health. I would argue maybe even double the health they had on your first or second playthrough. So if you can imagine how damaging it is on cycle number 5, imagine how great it would be on New Game Plus. I would say insane. I would still say that I think as of right now, Monkey and Halsey are equals, even though depending on the situation and the boss I'm facing, I would say one is better than the other one, but everything else is bad. Okay, I wouldn't say they are terrible. I think they are great, but just not good enough for the end game. They are great in, I'll say, New Game Plus. I feel like the Stone Monkey is great, for example, except he doesn't do much for you as a character, as opposed to I'll say Halsey, which can immobilize the enemy with his rings, as opposed to the monkey, which can actually freeze people, and who is, I feel like his ability to dodge is like very good, probably the best in the game, and he can actually deal damage fast, even though his might decreases just as fast. So I'll say my top two as of right now is the horse and the monkey, even though I tend to lean toward the horse more than the monkey, especially because I keep playing the game and I keep getting destroyed. So yeah, it is a very difficult transformation to acquire, because I feel like if you mess up in chapter 1 or 2, that's it. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe you can still come back to those chapters and talk to him, but I feel like if you talk to him in chapter 3, that's it. Or maybe he doesn't even show up. It's a very difficult quest to follow, and you want to seek him out because, like I said, he is really good. And if you plan on having more cycles, you know, you definitely will need everything in your arsenal to get through it. Anyway, I think I want to also address the spirits, because we're talking about transformations, and I feel like being able to use your spirits is also a transformation. I'll say maybe there's like 10% of those. Mind you, you have over 50 spirits. I'll say most of them are not good, but because they have good passive abilities, you know, whenever you equip the spirit, maybe you get, I'll say 30 plus defense, or like more damage resistance, or your poison resistance and poison damage is increased. You have to stick to that spirit, not because you want to use it, you know, not because it is the best one, but because it is the one which mostly fits your playstyle build right now. Again, horsey, great. Monkey, great. Wolfie, trash, but good trash. I can't remember how many times he actually had my back, and I used to think, oh my god, this is the best transformation in the game. Oh boy, was I wrong? Oh boy. Anyway, so let me know down below what your favorite transformation is and what your favorite spirit also is. See you soon. Have a good day, week, month, year, and I'll see you soon. Bye.